Let's now head to the courts now. Captain Mutala has joined me. Captain, good morning.
Good morning, Lily.
You brought back pink man.
my pink stand. So I alternate between the black one and this very.
Ah,
yeah,
I
so
see.
For those who are watching, you should just pay attention to the day that I always bring this particular color. You understand what is happening behind the scenes.
Really? Are you trying to match my outfit?
Yeah, sometimes when you need to look at the things and then you should be able to, when my outfit cannot match you, then that should have something that
That's too much, man. That's an interesting one. But a lot of things happened in the court and it's still happening. A.B. Bright says she's challenging the Tema Central results.
So
Is she not tired already?
Yeah, that's for an election. Once you agree that you take part in a public election, definitely it comes with its own associated challenges, and stress is one of them. And stress is relative here, depending on how you want to look at it. The campaigning, the groundwork alone is enough. So it's quite interesting. I was just watching you talk about the petition to have the
EC
chairperson removed.
And
also in Parliament, there's also a petition. A.B. Bright is filing a petition. I've seen people mention that it's going to the Supreme Court. No, the election petition starts from the High Court. So that is one thing. And of course, like you mentioned yesterday, you note that one thing that was very common when the issues about these 4 constituencies started was that once declaration have been made, the only option you have to file an election petition, not mandamus, as we used to see. The NDC side made that particular point clear when they said that the EC declared their candidates winners. And so if there's any concern at all, the forum is by way of challenging the declaration, challenging the election, which is you going by way of election petition. And following the outcome of what has happened, the court ordering for collations and declarations made, that has been made, except Ablikuma North. And guess what? E.B. Bright, Tema Central, the NDC parliamentary candidate, who was initially declared winner, but the court said that particular constitution, at the time that she was being declared, the elections were not complete, or the collation was not complete there, so the EC should go and complete. And after the completion, Charles Forson was declared winner. And this is what she has done. Yesterday, her lawyers has filed an election petition at the Tema High Court, not the Supreme Court, at the Tema High Court, to challenge that declaration made by the EC saying that Charles Forson is the one that won the election. And if you look at her petition to the court, she's asking for 9 reliefs. Out of the 9 reliefs, she's asking for 4 declarations. And the first declaration that she's seeking is to the effect that the court should declare that she was rather validly elected as the member of parliament for Tema Central. Yes, and so that is one of the things that she is seeking by way of declaration. Another declaration that she's also seeking is the effect that the respondent, that is the Electoral Commission, has no right to overturn that particular declaration that was earlier made, vis-a-vis to say that the one that declared her winner should be the one that stands, not the one that the court has asked for a collation, a complete, and then, in fact, collation of outstanding results and the winner declared. She is saying that the second declaration that has been made is not in law, and so that should be declared null and void. There's another point that she's also been making reference to. She's saying that, look, within the constituency, there were 3 polling centers that there were issues. The way and manner the EC officials or election results were handled there were not right. It did not conform with the regulation 39 and then 43 of public election regulation. And so that particular results there should not be made to stand in relation to 3 constituencies. Then, of course, she's also asking that the respondent declaration that the NPP member of parliament for Tema Central is a winner should not be deemed as valid. So these were the declarations that E.B. Bright is seeking. But in all of this, she's asking the court to make some consequential orders. And what are these consequential orders? In fact, she's made 5 of those suggestions to the court. And the first declaration that she's seeking is the fact that the court should endorse her name as the one who won the election after the 20 2024 parliamentary elections at the Tema Central constituency. Again, she's asking the court to order the EC to gazette her name onto, or should be published into the gazette as the member of parliament elect, and also the clerk of parliament should be notified to do that accordingly. And she's also asking the court to set aside the parliamentary election result, which declared Charles Forson as winner of the constitution, because she made the point that some 3 polling centers, the processes, the conduct of those centers did not comply with regulations of the election or public election regulation. And another of the orders that she's also seeking is the effect that if you look at these 3 polling centers that the election took place, that the courts and the other one also did not comply. And in case that the court do not agree with her in all of these things, she's saying that, look, the court should order for a rerun, and not a rerun of the entire constituency, but a rerun of these 3 polling centers that she has made references to. And so in all, that we have seen the very first of election petition emanating from Tema Central, because E.B. Bright, the NDC parliamentary candidate, is saying that he is not accepting the results as declared by the EC. The initial one that declared her winner should be the one that should stand, and not the one that the EC has declared. And note that Charles Forson's name has been gazetted, it has been published. The clerk to parliament has officially made process, and he has been sworn in as the member of parliament elect. So the right thing has been done. The first petition has come out, and it's coming from Tema Central in the person of E.B. Bright, the parliamentary candidate of the National Democratic Congress.
Yesterday, Bishop Salifu Amoako was in court?
Yes. That case involving his son. He, Bishop Salifu Amoako, the wife, Mahama Amoako, the one that has covered the hair with a scarf, and then Linda or Bempa, they were in court yesterday having charged for allowing somebody who do not have a license to drive, permitting unlicensed person to drive. They have pleaded not guilty. They have been granted bail. And yesterday I did talk to you about the fact that prosecution was supposed to file a fresh charge sheet. They wanted to amend the charge sheet. However, yesterday, because of the transition that we've had at the moment, we have new Attorney General in place, and the cases that have been listed for him to review, my understanding that this is one of the cases that Dr. Dominic Ayine is looking or is reviewing to have his opinion, legal opinion on it, whether it should continue or not to continue. So yesterday, before Mr. Samuel Bright Mensah, the parties, the case had to be adjourned also because we understand that the wife of Mahama Amoako is taken to be out of the country for a while. So that has been adjourned to the 17th of February. But one thing that people should look out for is this very case. Should you see that the AG dropped charges, nobody should be surprised in relation to this particular matter, because it's something that probably, after having an opinion on it, and if he deems it fit that there's nothing that really warrants that the accused person be charged, this very case will be dropped. But it's one case that yesterday came up, but has been adjourned because the AG, the new Attorney General, is reviewing the case docket, and of course also because the accused person, the second accused person, mother of the 16-year-old boy, is expected to be out of the jurisdiction for a while, which the court has allowed that.
The defamation suit against Oliver Barker?
So yesterday, Oliver Barker-Vormawor, Albert Kandapa were both in court before Justice Joseph Eduowu-Suajiman, and yesterday was for further cross-examination of Honorable Albert Kandapa, the former National Security Minister, in relation to a defamation action that is commenced against Oliver Barker-Vormawor following certain allegations allegedly made by Oliver Barker-Vormawor when he was the convener of the Fix the Country movement. He is saying that, look, you notice that it came to light that Oliver allegedly made the point that he called to ask it to induce him by way of giving him bribe to stop his advocacy and all of that. Kandapa is saying that is not the case, and so he's seeking damages in the sum of 10 million, and also an apology and retraction But that is what the court is investigating. Yesterday, unfortunately, when the matter was called, the court made it clear that lawyers of Oliver Barker-Vormawor has written to the court asking for an adjournment because lead counsel is out of the jurisdiction. The lawyers of Oliver Albert Kandapa were not happy with the situation, and they made the point that at the last court sitting, they agreed to be here, and so if counsel for Oliver Barker is coming with a letter on the eve of the court sitting for them, that is what he described as a lame excuse, and wanted the court to award a cost against the defendant hearing, that is Oliver Barker. But the court said, though, at this particular point in time, let's take a date, and the date is that you're coming back on the February 20th, the last day of February. Today, this year, we have, it's not a leap year, right?
No.
So February 28th, this case will be back in court, and then further cross-examination will be there. You remember that yesterday, I was telling you about another another case that Oliver is involved in, the AG commented on that has to do with treating felony. But this one is not in relation to the treating felony. This one is in relation to the defamation suit commenced by former National Security Minister. But I'm saying that this was commenced when he was National Security Minister. But the case is continuing even when he became the former National Security Minister. Absolutely, yes.
What's the latest on Safina Muhammad's case?
Yes, so Safina Muhammad's case is still hanging in there. It's hanging because the trial has not started. The court is expected to empanel the jury, and for some time now, at the last court sitting, the court made the point that the order from above is making the point that they should hold on for the jury selection in relation to the cases that are yet to start. And so fresh jurors are expected to be selected by the accused person herself, which the court will have to supervise. But when that will happen, you need the prospective jurors in court to be able to, so that the court can supervise the selection. But yesterday, that case was also adjourned. That process, they did not come on. And this case has suffered another adjournment.
Let's look at some of the cases coming up today. Seidu Agongo is back in court.
Yes, Cocoa Board. Dr. Stephen Kwabena, Seidu Agongo,
and Agricot Ghana
Limited. So the last time I told you that the ninth defense witness for businessman Seidu Agongo and Agricot Ghana Limited, the two are calling witnesses together because it is Seidu Agongo who owns Agricot Ghana Limited. The ninth witness, who is an expert, is in court, a research expert, a research scientist, I might say, was in court. Dr. Samuel Akoto Bamford was in court, gave his evidence in chief, and now he is in the witness box to be subjected to cross-examination. Lawyers of Dr. Stephen Kwabena, led by Samuel Kujo, are the ones subjecting him to further cross-examination. At the last court sitting, in the brief one that was conducted, he made the point that if you look at the scientific report or the lab report from the Ghana Standards Authority, which the AG or the prosecution is relying on, he will grade it 1 out of 10, which is, in effect, it means that that result cannot be reliable. But today, he'll face further cross-examination. And when lawyers of Dr. Stephen Kwabena are done, now prosecution will take it on. But let me also put on record that this is one of the cases that the new Attorney General is reviewing, is looking at whether the charges that have been preferred against the accused person are right or wrong. If he deems it fit that, in his legal opinion, if this case did not have to go to court at the first place, then we should see the end of this particular case, which is a political case, should be truncated along the line. So once you look in between the lines, you should be thinking along these lines as well.
These are possible cases that will be truncated.
Absolutely. It's one of them that when you see it happen, it shouldn't surprise you because the AG is reviewing all the political cases and, of course, cases that are of public interest that he will want to look at it and have his own legal opinion on them.
The Kasoa Millennium City murder case is also back today.
Ben Lord Abibio, the self-acclaimed chief at Kasoa. We noticed that Millennium City, sometime in April, this incident happened over a land issue when he's alleged to have shot a soldier, a military man, and then killed him. So he is being in court. He's been charged for murder together with one other for conspiracy, and they are before the court. And this case also is supposed to be or will be a jury trial. And so the issue surrounding Safina Muhammad issue about how the jurors should be selected and then reason why the case is not, the fresh cases, they should wait orders from above and all that. It's also impeding on this very case. But today, the case will be called before Justice Na Kizita Koakwash, and I will know more what the pleasure of the court will be and what directive the court will give in relation to this very matter.
Let's talk about one of the cases that the Attorney General has talked about, the Afoku murder trial.
Yes, so Gregory Afoku or Sapke Alande are back in court, and this matter, it's almost 10 years now. It's nearing its 10th year because it happened on May 19, May 20th, in fact, 2015. So May
this year will be 10 years. Exactly.
And it all has to do with New Patriotic Party's Upper East Regional Chairman, Adams Mahama, the late. And regarding, for those who remember, this happened today, an acid incident, supposed acid incident, which they allege that it is Afoku and Sapke who poured the acid incident on him, and he was rushed to the hospital, and unfortunately he couldn't make it, so the two have been charged. This is the third time that this case is undergoing trial. Prosecution fourth witness is in the witness box, but the substantive judge is on leave. He sat throughout the legal vacation. Justice Louise Marie Simmons sat throughout the legal vacation, so she's also taking her leave, but she's back in the first week of February, so that case will be. But before a relieving judge, this case will be called today. I remember yesterday, it was one of the cases that the Attorney General, the new Attorney General, mentioned that, look, when he was discussing the issue about the tribunal, that, look, you can't keep somebody in custody for that long. Fundamental human right of the accused person is very key, especially so when you look at provisions in Article 14 of the 1992 Constitution, which makes references to the innocence of an accused person until proven otherwise. So this is one of the cases that will come up in court. But what is clear is that Gregory Afoku, Sapke Alande, who had already been convicted and sentenced to death. And at the time of this incident, the punishment for murder and conspiracy for murder is death penalty. So Sapke Alande, who was found guilty for conspiracy, how one person can conspire with himself is another issue altogether. He's already on a death row because he was found guilty unanimously by the jury for conspiracy. But he's back in court together with Afoku for murder. So that is in relation to what we have for you in court today.
Thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you, Lily.
We'll catch you on the flip side.